Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of No Questions Left Behind. I'm Nick.
I'm Sam.
And if you are watching this video and you didn't get a chance to watch our excellent live production from this past Wednesday, definitely check that out. We ran for 2 hours.
Yeah, it was a long one. Tons of demos, covered every single ceramic product and pretty much all of their uses.
Yeah, and we can't get it right for you guys, right? We give you more demos, we answer less questions. Hopefully there was enough demos and information in that live to let you know how to use these products best, educate you a little bit about ceramic and its general benefits, and then maybe some tips and tricks about any ceramic products from Griot's Garage that you already have. But inevitably, with great participation, as there was lots of, and we always appreciate you guys tuning in, we have questions that are left behind. So we're going to answer them all. We do it pretty rapid fire. We are going to do a giveaway. I think we have our first winner right off the bat, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's get started. We're giving away a ceramic family kit to this particular person and probably one other person as we work our way down the questions, and one of us either is stumped, stumbled, maybe doubtful, but
yeah.
A good one, right? So we're going to at least give away one. We're going to start it off right there with, you want to do it?
Andy's Detail.
Andy's Detail.
So Andy's Detail, email us at social@griotsgarage.com with your mailing address and information, and we will get that ceramic family kit out to you.
Yeah, and you know, when we go back through all these questions, we see them by username. And Andy had a ton of questions, some of which we answered during the live, such as, can you use ceramic speed shine as a rinse aid like we demonstrated with ceramic 3-in-1 wax? Quick answer is yes, of course. It's not going to be as powerful or as reactive in a rinse aid form as it is in a drying aid form, and we elaborated on the differences in front of your face in that live on Wednesday, just so you're not left wondering. But Andy had a ton of other questions as well, and we think that that warrants great participation, great questions. You're clearly trying to learn about the products, about the process, so we appreciate that, Andy, and be sure to email us at social@griotsgarage.com.
Yeah, and if you won during the live event last Wednesday, be sure that if you haven't already, email us at social@griotsgarage.com with your mailing information so that we can get those giveaway prizes out to you guys before too long.
And Andy also asked, you know, how long does ceramic all-in-one last? You know, we generally are cagey about specific durability, in particular because of the environment, the way that the car is used, how you wash it. But with good conditions, 9 to 12 months is our estimate, so we consider that a base coat. If you're riding it out to the end of that durability, good for you. However, what we showed you last night was some ways to extend the life of that base coat, or at least continue to see the same benefits of SiO2. That product will definitely be there, but it won't be as maybe reactive. Your water beads may not be as tight, but the UV protection and just general repellency will still be there. It'll just be slower. So using ceramic speed shine and ceramic wash and coat and or ceramic 3-in-1 wax in your normal routine in all the ways that we showed you yesterday will definitely extend that base coat. But that's kind of how we frame it. But granted, you put ceramic all-in-one wax in, you don't let it cure for 12 to 24 hours and then drive through a tunnel wash. Sorry, bud, can't help you there.
Yep. Yeah, and if you're using the supplemental products, like Nick mentioned, you're going to see a lot longer life than that typically. So picking up a few of the other ceramics, you know, ceramic speed shine, ceramic wash and coat, 3-in-1 wax, you can top over all-in-one as well. Those are all going to extend the life of your base ceramic. So shoot, what should we ask next?
I like First from Puerto Rico's question, if you want to answer that.
Oh yeah, what would be the shelf life for ceramic 3-in-1? So shelf life can be hard to pin exactly. You know, it's not like a consumable product that you buy at the grocery store. However, typically you're going to be able to expect up to 5 years shelf life out of any of our liquid products, and sometimes longer, especially if they're stored in a stable environment. That's the most important thing when it comes to storing any car care product. whether it be water-based or solvent-based, is making sure that it's not in an environment that temperature fluctuations are happening wildly. If your garage freezes over the winter time, if you're in a cold climate, tote up your products, bring them into the house for the winter months to prevent them from freezing. That is the one big thing, freezing and thawing, that can affect the stability of a product and make you need to throw it away early, which all of our products are freeze-thaw tested. However, that's only for a certain number of cycles. So if you're in a garage where products are freezing and thawing multiple times throughout a week or month, that can pretty drastically affect the shelf life or longevity of that product lasting and performing well in the bottle.
Yeah, our chemist likes to say it's 2 years, but she's just doing a CYA there.
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, to your point, a stable environment, actually, non-UV environment as well. Don't put them on a windowsill in an uninsulated garage. That's a quick way to shorten it. If you do see some separation, shake it up. If it doesn't go back into a form that you recognize, then there may be a problem with the formula, in which case, we want to know, because we have retains in all of our batches, and we can track that down and see if something went wrong. We're pretty good at that, and it doesn't happen very often, but it has over 33 years. But these definitely contain SiO2. We talked about high solids and how exposing them to the environment will make them actually seize up and become solid as the solvent gases off. That's not the same thing you're going to have to worry about. I did see a gentleman with the old machine polishes that were water-based polishes who lived in Arizona. His garage was uninsulated. Arizona gets up to 120 degrees in the summertime, and all the water had literally evaporated out of it. So it's just this gel shaking around in the bottle. So there are environmental factors that can affect it, but honestly, if you feel like it has changed in a way that is not recognizable to you, you can always call us. We'll take care of you. Good question.
Yeah, that pretty much applies to everything, not just 3-in-1.
Yeah, so Aggie Fan, he says, I'm so impressed with your products and company. Thank you, Aggie Fan. Appreciate that. We work very hard for our reputation. And I want to begin using your products, but do not know where to start. I have a 2014 F-150 in great condition, no swirl marks, help. Well, first of all, if you have a 10-year-old truck with no swirl marks, that's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah, very.
That means it's been babied by somebody. Sam and I have pretty critical eyes, so we might have to challenge you on that. But the very basic thing is you've got a big truck. You want the safest way to do your most routine steps, such as washing. So I'd recommend, looking into foaming tools. If you do decide to polish and improve that truck, even if it's swirl mark free, you can do some of the processes we showed last night, like a ceramic all-in-one, which if it's well maintained, that may be the only polishing step you actually need, and great durable protection. As we mentioned, you could probably do that once per year and maintain with other ceramic products, get great durability and protection and ease of cleaning, and then look to some interior products as well. We sell kits for all of our different subcategories, whether that be paint correction, interior, ceramic family kit. So depending on how you use the truck and what your skill set is, we have something for you that's priced well and will reflect some discounts. We sell them as solutions. Of course, if you're still needing more guidance, give us a call, 1-800-345-5789. We have real people that are trained by Stevie who helps us with these productions, and they will guide you through getting the right setup. So if you take care of your baby, you want to have fun doing it, we can help.
Yeah, giving us a call, like Nick said, it's a great way to get started. Get good advice from those guys. Alan Friedlander, asked, what do you offer to spray and protect on a clean, wet car and then rinse off? So basically a rinse aid, which we showed a few examples of that yesterday. 2 of those being our ceramic speed shine and ceramic 3-in-1 wax. So these are both solid products that can be used as rinse aids. I would say those are our 2 best in terms of the performance that you're going to get from that application. We do also have our foaming polygloss, which is a product that you could spray on a clean, wet surface, or even use it to remove light soiling as you mitt over it. But that can be sprayed on and rinsed off. Ceramic wash and coat is another one that can be sprayed on and rinsed off. Of course, ceramic wash and coat and foaming polygloss are normally best sprayed on via a foaming tool, whether that be a foam cannon or a foaming sprayer, being the hose attached version. And then I think our rinseless wash and wax at 15-1 makes a pretty good rinse aid as well.
Yep.
So.
Lots of options there. Generally bias your rinse aid to what your base layer is.
Yep.
So if you've got ceramic base layer, use one of those ceramic products that we suggested. Polymer sealant, use polygloss, carnauba wax, rinseless wash and wax. All right? Okay, B Stewart Executive Car Care Club, the name's cut off. After using these products, speaking of the ceramic products, do you need to toss your microfiber towels away? The answer is no. And we explained the concept of ceramic infused versus high solids. All of our products do feature SiO2, the active ingredient that allows us to call them ceramics. They do not contain a high enough percentage that you would risk jeopardizing your microfiber towels that you've invested in. A higher solids coating generally is the product you may be referring to that when you wipe up the excess, that excess is impregnated in your towel and hardens. Tend to have towels that are more on the disposable end for those type of applications, or like felt applicators that you attach. And those are really cheap. But for our towels, if you do use ceramic products, we recommend washing them before they dry. It's not going to ruin the towel, but its performance will degrade over time if you don't wash them pretty close to when you use them. So try and do like a load of microfibers. Fabric softener free, definitely suggest boosting it with microfiber foam and foam pad cleaner. 2 to 4 ounces in your microfiber load. And then of course air dry or tumble dry so you don't seize up those towels. But no, they won't ruin your towels in the first time. They will definitely make them less absorbent over time if you let them dry and continue to use ceramic products. So that should speak to the fact that there is solid content in these products, but they won't ruin them on first blush.
Yeah. Key is to not let them chill and dry, like you were saying, or don't throw them in a hamper and leave them in there for a week. Put them straight in the wash after you use them.
I consider it part of my detailing process. If I'm going to go do an extensive process where I'm laying down a lot of ceramic products, the last step in my detail, once I get done admiring my very clean, well-protected car, go to the washer.
Yeah.
And I might not fold those towels for a week.
Yeah,
but at least
for
I've
sure.
gotten them through, the washing process.
You have a bag of unfolded.
And towels are
microfibers
expensive.
at home right now.
But if you pay for good towels, you don't want to dispose of them. You want to get the most out of them. So proper care is critical.
Take care of your towels. Borakua 30.
We got a lot of questions like this.
Sorry if I butchered that one. But yeah, this is a really common one. We get this every live, really, regardless of what products we're showing off. But he asked, can this be applied outside with no cover in the shade? Key word that he mentions is shade, or she, apologize. Don't know if
it's not very clear.
Guy or gal there. Yeah. Not at all. But shade is very important when you're using products outside. That's not saying that you can't use products in the direct sunlight, but you're just going to have a little harder of a time. You're going to have to work a lot faster. You're going to be sweating. It's going to be tiresome. And there's just going to be more risk of spotting or streaking when you're working in direct sunlight, specifically when the surface that you're working on is hot or warm. So that's another important one. Even if you aren't in the shade, making sure that the surface is cool, I would say, is more important than necessarily being in the shade. Because you could pull a vehicle out of direct sunlight into the shade, and if the surface temperature is still very hot, you're going to have the same kind of problems of products evaporating as soon as you spray them on the surface, streaking, spotting, things like that. So I would say, pretty much all of our products can be used outside, but making sure that, if you have the opportunity, do it in the early morning or in the evening when the sun is low and you have lots of shade, temperatures are cooler. If you have to do it in direct sun or when the sun is high, make sure that that surface temp is as cool as possible. One of the strategies that I've used in the past when I've done...
Hey, don't give it all away, okay?
All right.
Because it might be our
might
be our next live topic. So, so all great tips. but I don't want to give all the tips away. First of
You
all,
got to watch the next live.
yeah, so our next YouTube Live in July, we'll actually be pre-recording it because part of the pre-recording is setting up the ideal conditions if you don't have shade, if you don't have this luxurious infrastructure that we have that's climate controlled with drains.
Yep.
So it will be the live format, long format, but we're going to give you all the tips and tricks. I will confirm the date by the end of this, but it's right in the middle of, I think it's going to be July 12th, Wednesday. It'll still debut at 4 p.m. Like all of them. We will have live moderators in that, but that'll be, outside, high sun conditions. How do you beat the heat, and what are our best tips, tricks, and processes? So I'm sorry I had to cut you off.
No.
You were about to,
Yeah, don't want to
spoil
give
the
them
surprise,
all the
right?
info.
So, short answer is yes, it's more challenging.
Yeah.
But we'll teach you through that. So subscribe, and you'll see us do that in mid-July. Cavallino aficionado was really active last night too. Brad L. Hart, DDS, dentist, probably very particular about his car. He asks, sorry, I'm making stereotypical assumption there, Brad. Is the spray 3-in-1 meant for black plastic trim or rough painted surfaces? It's not intended for them, but in particular, the ceramic 3-in-1 wax will not damage or leave white residue on black trim. It's just not going to give a ton of benefit. So, don't worry about overspray, or sure, try spraying it on. Maybe test a small area to see if it's reacting well, which by that I would mean not streaky or gummy.
Yeah.
But so long as it's cool, I think you're going to be fine. And if you're talking about rough painted surfaces, like a rhino lining, maybe I'm thinking.
Oh, there's some vehicles you get that like textured, rocker panel where
Down
they've
here.
sprayed it on heavy surfaces like that. I know I use it on. I have a Raptor liner product on my Land Cruiser rocker panels, and it's a great way to protect those surfaces without enhancing them at all. Which, depending on your preference, you may not want to darken up or put a shine to a surface like that, but it will protect them well. So, good way to get protection virtually on every exterior surface. Like Nick said, if you have a question, especially like raw rubber, sometimes raw natural rubber sometimes can soak products in if it's oxidized. So test a small inconspicuous area before you go crazy spraying.
Yeah, it might just look streaky. It might not look good or might not hurt it, but that's good advice. And in general, the only thing you want to avoid in our ceramic line on like hard blast black plastic would be something with an abrasive, right? So our ceramic metal polish or ceramic all-in-one. Probably not going to like destroy it, but just tape it off, right? Avoid that situation if possible. Mm-hmm. But the spray, you're in good shape. You won't do any damage. It just might not be very protective or enhancing as it is on paint.
Yeah. Bob Maslin asked, I use the glass sealant, works extremely well. What's the difference between the sealant and the ceramic? So we covered this briefly the other night, but just to elaborate on that a little bit, glass sealant is going to be, it's a traditionally applied product in that you apply it on often in a crosshatch pattern, with a towel or applicator, you let it set up, and then you buff it back off. Glass sealant will be more durable than ceramic glass cleaner. It's meant to take a little bit more abuse.
Takes a lot more time, too.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot more time. You're not simply spraying it on, wiping it off. So where glass sealant would be more of a base type product, ceramic glass cleaner is more of a maintenance and upkeep product. It's going to be a spray, so it's really quick and easy to use, save you a lot of time compared to applying glass sealant to an entire vehicle. I'd say glass sealant has a little bit of an edge on hydrophobicity, but they're both great ways to protect your glass. And you can use ceramic glass cleaner on top of glass sealant to add life there as well. So
it's probably a good time to specify. We've done this a lot, but I don't think we really covered it. We definitely covered high solids versus ceramic infused, but we have never claimed that our products are equivalent in performance to the high solids products. Those definitely have been turned up to 11 relative to what you expect here. Granted, these are turned up to 11 relative to your carnauba wax and polymer sealants of days gone by, and are great, protective ceramic representative products. They are not high solids products. So if you put out like a high solids glass coating on your windows, it's going to be slightly higher contact angle, last a little bit longer than a ceramic glass cleaner. Glass sealant kind of has that edge as well. It's definitely a little bit more substantial. It requires a little bit more install time.
Yep.
But in both cases, a high solids material specific coating and or glass sealant, their life and hydrophobicity can be accentuated and extended by supplementing with ceramic glass cleaners. So to be clear, our entire line is ceramic infused products. We're very proud of them. They're great standalone products, and they can also complement high solids, professionally installed or pro-enthusiast installed base coats and extend their life and refresh some of the best aspects of those high solid coatings that are the first things to drop off. In particular, slickness, contact angle, and self-cleaning. Those will diminish over the life of a high solids coating. Boost it with Griot's Garage, or just use our excellent base coats and supplement them the same way you would a high solids one with routine touch-ups with ceramic speed shine and ceramic wash and coat.
Yes, sir.
I'd been meaning to say that, to point out that we've never claimed
that
they're the same.
For sure.
All of a sudden I was talking for 3 minutes.
Oh no, it's an important one to cover. Don't want to fool anybody.
Yeah, we definitely want to market with integrity at all times. Really quick break. Right now there is a sale going on. If you spend $30 at griotsgarage.com, you will get a free bottle of ceramic 3-in-1 wax. That offer ends on June 20th. You happen to remember the code? Oh, there it is. Look at that.
SML something.
Yeah, SMLCJ. So that goes through June 20th. If you're inspired by either the live on Wednesday or there's no questions left behind, and you're looking to place an order, do it now, and you'll get one of the bottles of ceramic 3-in-1 wax, which is one of our very best, in fact, first ceramic product we ever introduced.
Yeah.
Showed you a bunch of cool uses for that in the live, and it'll be your new best friend.
Yeah, and over $20 value there, so if you're already planning on getting ceramic 3-in-1, it's like saving 40% on your entire order.
Yeah.
Sweet way to go.
Okay, so this is a good one too. We didn't specify this, but the directions on the back of the bottle do.
Yeah.
So Charles Long, and no harm, no foul, right? I mean, I have wasted a lot of time not reading directions and been frustrated with products that could have been alleviated by reading for 5 minutes.
I'll do it. Specifically a male stereotype.
Yeah,
so.
and hi, I'm Nick. I don't read directions.
IKEA furniture.
Yeah.
I'll take that challenge.
So Charles asked, what's a typical dry time for ceramic all-in-one in hot, dry environments like Phoenix? I may have waited too long, 20 minutes to wipe off. It was very difficult. Yes, Charles, you waited way, way, way too long.
Yes.
As we demonstrated yesterday, that polishing process is essentially what introduces the bond initially to the paint. So we recommend you wipe off immediately after completing a panel or section. There's no benefit to letting excess products sit on your paint. In fact, it seems like it made it much more difficult than that product should ever be experienced. That does not mean that once you've wiped off excess, there isn't an ideal cure time of 12 to 24 hours, which we covered extensively yesterday. But yeah, you waited too long, Charles, and you should wipe right off. It's not
especially in a hot environment.
It's not old school carnauba where it dries to a haze and you wipe off. No, this stuff is bonded as soon as you've done your passes. So wipe it right off.
I really come to like products like that personally, because when you're done, you're done. You don't apply it to the whole vehicle and then have to wait and come back and do your wipe off. You're doing it panel by panel, so when you're done with the whole car, you're totally done.
Yeah, I know we're going back and forth, but Charles has one other question.
Yeah.
And we answered one of his yesterday, so he's a good participant. So we'll have to get through this, but I kind of gave him a gold star right now. But we like these kind of questions.
Yeah. I saw this one was one of my favorites.
What are your top 2 faves in the ceramic line?
That's a hard question to answer for
It's like
sure.
picking
But
your children, you
Yeah.
know? Just
Yeah.
like we've worked on all these together, and some of them were really, really frustrating.
yeah, I mean, I know I said it last night. Ceramic Speed Shine is just so easy to use. Like out of all the even non-ceramic detail sprays, I think it edges out a few of those in ease of use.
The slickness too is just out of this world.
Yeah, and the benefit you get is amazing. You know, the slickness, the protection. You can clean light dust and dirt off of it, which I'm a big fan of doing that. You know, saves you time from having to, you know, wash quite as often if you're doing that consistently. Second to that, oh man, I'd say right now it's probably close between wash and coat and ceramic tire dressing.
Okay.
I really like the new ceramic tire dressing. It's the perfect amount of sheen. I know we had one comment, I think from Rachel Drives Clean Cars, saying that we need to develop a ceramic tire dressing with a satin finish to it, because she was surprised of the dullness of this product. I would say that's probably attributed to the tire that you're applying it to, because I most often get a really rich satin, almost low gloss, depending on how thick or how many coats you apply.
Yeah, we did move this car, but we treated half the wheel, and there's light coming off that. So
Yeah.
I would call that satin. It's not grabbing light, it's reflecting some light. But
Yeah.
it's not like pop,
And it's
high gloss.
easy to adjust. If you want a little more, just do a second coat after your first coat has started to set up.
No durability benefit really observed from that.
No, but
you know,
yeah, if you want that extra appearance, it will
Yeah.
gloss up a little bit with a second application.
yeah. Okay, so my two favorites, and I'm not trying to be contrarian or sell more products.
No.
I'm thinking about this through the lens of, man, if I had these products as a teenager,
Oh yeah, for sure.
I probably would have had a Porsche by the time I was 18.
I know we've talked about this a lot.
And I did so many cars with our one-step sealant because it was just a great way to offer a fair price, you know, relative to the amount of labor that it would take. Ceramic All-in-One is without a doubt like my favorite in the lineup because of its blend of correction capability and durability, the ability to just top it off with something else too to boost it. But one-step sealant, I couldn't count on its durability with customer cars because, you know, in Washington in particular, you know, somebody drives their car like, oh, get into my clean car, and, you know, the film forming polymer didn't set up, and then they're calling me like, hey, come back.
Yeah.
Like, well, okay. I could have told you not to do that, but I'm 16. I didn't think through everything.
Yeah.
You know, you liked the way your car looked, which one-step sealant, again, made me a lot of money. But I think just in terms of, it may have kept my customers away for longer, but I would have loved to have had this product.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know that in our Grillo's Garage community group on Facebook, thank you all for being raving fans of Grillo's Garage.
Yes.
There's one guy, I think his tag is Deputy Detail, and like he's doing pretty much exclusively ceramic all-in-one as his finishing step.
Yeah.
Cars always end up looking great, and it's, again, a way to match a fair rate with the labor exerted. So
Yeah.
love that product. Second, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Second for me is wash and coat,
Yeah.
because the pain of developing that product was real. Again, you bring Stevie to tears over product development, which we generally have fun with. You know, that's rough, just because we're going backwards so many times and trying to find right dilution ratios, trying to get the product we had dreamed about in terms of, you know, actually leaving protection behind.
Yeah.
Its comparison to its peers in its subcategory, there's not one.
No.
So very proud of that. And then every time I use it, I'm like so stoked with what's happening.
Yeah, it's
like
so
It's
satisfying.
a very instant reaction on a wet car. And, you know, I make no bones about it. It was like the only thing I could do to my wife's car with as many kids as we had and as pregnant as she was most of those, you know, years. And then I also think about one of my best customers who would, you know, go play golf. I'd be behind the pro shop. He'd throw me $50 every week and said, wash it. Don't even use water, boys. And we're like, okay, no, this is a, you know, handsome dark green Jaguar convertible. We're going to take very good care of it. But we'd finish that with spray on wax every time. And I would have, because that car was never very dirty, I would have done ceramic wash and coat every week for him.
Yeah.
And he would have absolutely just been blown away if he had gotten back into weather or something like that. So that, it just fits into a couple different service levels for quick details
Yeah.
that I didn't have available to me that I just wish I did. And luckily for you all, we made it. So
On both huge value adds to any detail. And yeah, like you
you know
said.
what? That was a great question. We're going to give Charles a kit.
Yeah. He's always got good questions.
Okay, Charles.
That was money.
You're our second giveaway winner. Email us at social@griosgarage.com to claim your kit. That's what I said. You got us talking.
He knew that one was going to be hard, too. It's like, they're all so good. It's tough to pick.
It's like my dad says, like, what's your favorite child? He actually has an answer. It's my sister. There's one of her. There's 3 boys. So, but at the same time, pick your favorite car out of there. It's like, oh man, it's one or the other. So there's 12 back there. I like them all for different reasons.
Yeah.
We have our fingerprints on all this stuff, so it's hard to leave any behind.
Those questions are always fun.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. Chris Christensen asked, I tried using ceramic wash and coat in my Boss foam cannon at different dilution ratios, but haven't found what I think is ideal. Any recommendations? So, Chris, if you're looking for heavy foam out of your foam cannon with that product, you're not going to get it. It's as simple as that. As we've been very honest about in the past, this is not a high foaming product. Its primary benefit is the protection that you get from it, and then of course the fact that you can use it as a wash as well. But it is not going to ever give you the foam that you would expect from brilliantly finished snow foam, foaming surface wash, even brilliantly finished car wash. It just simply, the ceramic additives in here essentially kill foam. And as Nick said well on Wednesday, it was really tough to strike a balance with this product. We still feel that we struck the right one, but it's impossible to get a high foaming wash that also applies durable protection, just because the chemistry of those two components doesn't mix well. The polymers and the ceramics essentially, kill the foam. They're like defoamers.
It's oil and water, right? They just don't jive well.
Yeah, so if you're...
In fact, one of our competitors separated the two.
Yeah.
So you have to pour it in, so it'll stay stable for no time at all.
Yeah.
But we've stabilized it, so that was a challenge.
That's the one thing we found in testing was like any of the ceramic washes that foamed a ton left zero protection behind.
And we're priced at, like a 30-40% premium to their non-ceramic equivalent while being the chemical equivalent.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's not very fair.
So, I think the typical dilution ratio in a foam cannon is 4 ounces of ceramic wash and coat, and then fill the reservoir up with water. That would be without a metering tip. Now, if you're using a metering tip in your Boss foam cannon, that could also be what's affecting the output results, because this product is not really intended to be used with a metering tip. So if you want to use it in the Boss foam cannon, pull that metering tip out, mix it at 4 ounces to a full reservoir. So you're at about 4 ounces of product to 28 to 30 ounces of water, depending on how tip-top full you want to get your reservoir there.
Yeah, and don't overdo it, as we specified with that product. Dilution ratios are important. You put too much in, not only are you wasting product, but you have the potential for streaks and or reactive seizing on the paint, which we saw, as we were playing with dilution ratios. So read the directions on that one. All right, speaking of directions, Chuck McGetrick said the instructions on the ceramic all-in-one state to let the product dry to a haze before removing. In a previous video and earlier in this one, removal was almost immediate. Can you please clarify? I'll read the instructions. Wipe off. Following each 2 foot by 2 foot application, immediately wipe off wet residue using a microfiber plush, edgeless towel, or microfiber towel.
Yeah, so you're thinking of a different product that's telling you to dry to a haze, for sure.
Yeah. All right, we got a lot more to cover, Sam. We better pick some good ones.
Speed up here. I'm not even gonna. We talked too much about graphene to talk about that more today, so I'm gonna skip that one.
We've said it like so many times. There's a reason we don't have a graphene product.
Yeah, Clifford Wirtz, I like this question because we get these a lot as well. He said, I'm a long-time Griot's Garage customer, but I've never used a ceramic product. Should I start with 3-in-1 or all-in-one? I would say 3-in-1 for sure. It's a little bit, less investment. You don't have to break out the orbital. Or if you're doing it by hand, you're not spending the amount of time. So as an entry into the ceramic line, of ours, the ceramic family 3-in-1, was our first ceramic product. Another great reason that it's a great one to start with. So that would be mine. You know, wash the vehicle, give it a nice quick decontamination, or if it's not very contaminated, you know, you can go straight to applying that right on. But excellent, excellent. If you want to get the ultimate application, wash, decontaminate with clay or surface prep mitt, then use our surface prep cleanser, and then apply the 3-in-1 wax. You'll get super durable application, easy process.
So this is kind of a categorical question. We had it come from two places. We had Thomas Wright, longtime customer, thank you for your business. And Dean Ware asked about, is there anything different when approaching single stage paint with these products?
Good one.
Thomas asks in the reference of one of his old 60s cars has lacquer paint. And he's asking if he can use ceramic speed shine or ceramic 3-in-1 wax. Short answer is yes, right? The biggest caveat with lacquer is, you know, what's the condition? Like, is it oxidized? Is it in a good state to accept protection in general? I think is the only caveat. In single stage categorically, it's the same thing. If you have oxidized paint and you try to put something that's going to enhance gloss or add protection, it kind of just sucks it up. So in general, I would suggest that if that paint is in good enough condition to accept a protection step, yes, it can totally use ceramic 3-in-1 and ceramic speed shine. My only ask back to you, because Thomas in particular was saying, hey, I'm using Best of Show Detailer and Speed Shine successfully on my original 60s lacquer paint. Do you have a need for ceramic? If your paint's in good condition, ceramic isn't going to necessarily enhance it another level if you're using those other products and getting good results. But if that car were your daily driver from the 60s with original lacquer paint, I would suggest, yes, there is a benefit to using the ceramic products, in particular, as I referenced the oxidation that is typical in single stage paint systems. The UV protection in the ceramic products will benefit your paint system in staving off oxidation for a longer period of time. So that's really it. How's the car used? What are you trying to gain from it? Are you going to take it out in the sun and leave it parked there? Yeah, put ceramic on it if it's an original paint system. Daily driver? Yeah. You're a show queen with original paint from the 60s that you take out for 3 months of the year and only to shows? Stick with those other products. They're perfectly good. Yep. So that's the use case here. Like, there is still space for Carnauba, there is still space for polymer sealants, and there is space for ceramics based upon your preference and how you use the car.
See, we got this question a couple times as well. Dylan Sawchuk said, hey guys, I'm driving my ND Miata from NorCal to Ohio tomorrow, long road trip. Which ceramic product is best to protect from bugs and road grime? Is spray-on car wash going to hurt a ceramic 3-in-1 coating? I think we got the spray-on car wash compatibility question 2 or 3 times. So first answer, our most durable base is going to be ceramic 3-in-1. So that's probably what I would recommend to start your road trip with, because that's going to give you a nice hydrophobic protected finish all over the vehicle. Will make it easier to get those bugs and road grime off, especially if you're just using spray-on car wash as you go on your road trip. Spray-on car wash will not hurt a ceramic protectant. It is, you know, a pH balanced product that's going to preserve whatever you're putting it on. However, it does have a little bit of Carnauba in it to help give it some slip and lubrication. So you might see the finish take on, you know, it might lose a little bit of hydrophobicity if you're putting that spray-on car wash over it. Another good process to use if you want to avoid that would be our Brilliant Finish rinseless wash. You can dilute that in a spray bottle at 6:1 and use it just like spray-on car wash, or, you know, bring a bucket and fill up, you know, your bucket at a sink, or, you know, if a local gas station has a spigot you can use, you can go that route as well, or drive through car wash, you know, fill the bucket up, use your rinseless there. Yeah. Just stay away from the brushes.
Yeah, frequent maintenance is easy maintenance, and just stay out of Vacaville, California in August, and then you won't go into like, you know, a bug disaster, invasion.
Yeah, fun road trip. Good for you for taking your car out on a road trip like that.
All right, this one comes from Dylan Sawchuk, and it's actually the opposite of what you just suggested.
Yeah.
He's saying, are the ceramic products compatible with spray-on car wash? So for the same reason that you stated, it's not going to interfere if ceramic's your base coat, you would definitely not want to clean your car with spray-on car wash and then try to apply one of these ceramic products, presuming you're going to get maximum durability. That same carnauba that is making it lubricated and making it safer to clean with that product will interfere with the bond of the ceramic. So what I would suggest is that if you are going to use spray-on car wash to clean your car, follow the clean car up with a panel wipe such as our Surface Prep Cleanser to strip that carnauba away. It's not a huge content of carnauba. Again, it's primarily for lubrication, not protection, but it still would be enough to interfere with the bond. So wipe Surface Prep Cleanser, or spray it and wipe it off. It's a very quick process, but that'll ensure there's nothing in between the paint system and the ceramic that's trying to bond to it. So they are compatible, but there's an intermediate step.
Yep.
So don't do spray on car wash and then spray ceramic 3-in-1 wax on it right away. You'll still get some benefit, but it won't be very durable. It just will not be able to set up and cure properly.
This is another question that we got twice. And I always not laugh at these questions, but you don't want to assume that just because your car is new that it doesn't have any light, defects in it. So Howard Miller and, where was the other one? And G. Livingston both asked, what would you recommend for a new car without scratches or swirls if you don't want cutting properties? Howard said, my car is brand new and kept in the garage. Do I necessarily need all-in-one, or will the 3-in-1 be adequate? So I would just recommend, take a Focus Light to your finish first before you decide which approach to take, or pull it out in direct sunlight and really look at that paint. Because I'd probably venture to say, at least 75% of the brand new cars that I see have either water spots or swirl marks in them from being taken care of by lot boys and the wash companies that come through the lots. Some dealerships will use a tunnel wash to maintain their vehicles, which will definitely ensure that it has defects. So it might be still nice and shiny. It might not have heavy defects that are really noticeable to the naked eye, but take a light to the surface. If you're happy with the way the finish looks when you do that, ceramic 3-in-1 wax is a great place to start. Get durable protection down right off the bat, protect that paint from oxidizing, keep it easy to maintain. If you see some light water spots or some light scratches from being maintained on the lot, then I would definitely, say it's worth spending the time with ceramic all-in-one. It's a brand new car, so it's never gonna be brand new again. So getting it, as good as you can right off the bat is a great way to go.
Yeah, I think this comes down to how you define this. The gentleman that we started with, he said, I've got a 2014 F-150 without a swirl mark. I approach that with a high level of doubt. I think it's relative to your concept of what a scratch is, right? When they say there's not a scratch on it, I think most people are visualizing, again, an angry ex-girlfriend with a key.
Yeah.
a tangible scratch, right?
Yeah.
Which is a bad scratch. That sucks. Swirl marks are natural. They happen even with the best care possible.
Yep.
Just my boys running past it when it's perfectly clean.
Yep.
And brushing their shirt. Okay, those are swirl marks. These are hairline scratches that aren't necessarily noticeable at a very low level, but as they accumulate, will become more and more noticeable and will dull your clear coat. Yep. This is not a bad thing. This is normal wear and tear. Ceramic all-in-one, definitely I would suggest if it's a new car to you or brand new off the lot, I would suggest you're going to benefit from using that product, whether it be, to your point, even just removing like light water spotting that may have happened in transit if you can argue with the dealer enough so that they don't touch it or wash it. We like to call them dealer-installed scratches.
Yeah.
Had a conversation with a dealer this morning. He's like, you want to buy a dirty car? Yes, I do. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
They always think you're crazy, but they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, so I think, even if it's not heavily concentrated swirl marks, there's gonna be some, right? It's just natural. Even removing the factory film, you're gonna create some. So,
I think it was a year ago, I was dropping a friend off to pick up a car from service, and you could see the dealer's detail bay from like the service drop-off area. and I literally watched one of the lot boys pick a wash mitt up off the pavement and take it right back to the car,
Yeah.
and it was like a brand new BMW.
Those poor guys aren't getting paid very much.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I mean, that's it. Well, sometimes they don't know better.
They're watching, like commercials where people wash with sponges and, everybody's getting foamed and wet and smiling. But ultimately, I've seen multiple $1 million cars that are swirled up beyond what I would consider imaginable, but it's a multiple $1 million car. Everything else works. It's original.
Yeah.
Fine, don't chase those swirl marks. That I can give you that,
Yeah.
but they're there. To say they're not is false, but at some point you stop caring because it is original paint, and you don't want to polish through it. You don't want to jeopardize the originality, so you tolerate the light swirl marks. You probably don't tolerate the angry ex-girlfriend who writes, I hate you on the side of your car, right?
That's an insurance claim.
So we're deep in the weeds, guys, but and we understand that part of getting used to and knowing paint is gaining experience, which we both have a lot of. And we're not insulting your car by saying that it has swirl marks. In fact, my car has swirl marks, your car has swirl marks.
I'm still
it's
working
fine.
on that on the truck.
The reality is those safe washing processes can minimize making more, and then annual or semi-annual light polishing processes like ceramic all-in-one will knock them all out, right? And probably just leave the deep stuff that is unfortunate, but is a matter of life as well.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, it all depends how picky you are. If you take a light to it or look at it in direct sun and you're happy with it, then there you go.
Well, one of my biggest knockdown, drag-out arguments ever on the road was with a guy that owned a chain of tunnel washes. And he said, tunnel washes don't damage your car. I was like, get out of here. You're a liar.
Yeah.
He goes, what do you mean? They don't scratch it.
You're delusional.
Again, that is his definition of a scratch.
Yeah.
But you take this perfectly, nice black car with very few swirl marks, but they're still present. It's got a nice, consistent sheen. If I were to look at this with a naked eye and no critical light, I'd say, there's not a scratch on it, even though I'm looking at 2 right now. But taking it through a tunnel wash once will drastically change the appearance of the car.
Yep.
And will it will look like the simulated area that we showed last night.
Yep.
It'll look like somebody took a Brillo pad to your car. Convenient, yes. White construction work truck, fine. Don't do it to your pride and joy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No.
Kenneth Kruger, how do I like my new Bronco? I like it enough to sell my Grand Wagoneer.
Left that one on there just for you.
That's pretty brutal. I put my heart and soul into that Jeep, but my family outgrew it a little bit. No safety harnesses. I scared myself with the lack of ABS brakes. I'm definitely going to own a Grand Wagoneer again, but I'm letting that one go because the Bronco is so good. So, and my wife can drive it. It's got a convertible top. I think it's one of the best modern vehicles I could have ever imagined, and I hate, I'm saying that word, new vehicles.
Yeah,
I do not like them at all.
Yeah, I'm a Toyota guy till I die, but that Bronco is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Matt and I drove it down to San Francisco.
Like, man, if I had a little more room.
Matt's on the switches behind the screen. You don't see him too often, but he's making the magic. But we drove it down to Monterey last year, and that was the ceramic tire dressing road trip. And man, it was just such an enjoyable car. Like that was the litmus test. I was like, if I don't like this car after this road trip, I'm gonna sell it and make 10 grand, but I couldn't sell it.
Yeah, well, and the versatility, a 4-wheel drive vehicle on stock 35s, stock lifted that you can take on that many miles on the highway and be comfortable and that satisfied, and then pull off the highway and have a capable off-road machine.
Yeah, and Matt and I are both history buffs.
Well done, Ford.
And I'm not exaggerating. We did not listen to a single song, single bit of music that entire drive, and it's got a convertible top.
Yeah.
So we're driving 85 down I-5. I'm sorry, I was driving 65, officer, with a convertible top, and we were able to just have room level conversations that entire drive. Yeah. So it's a wonderful car. Ford nailed it. I have one, so I don't need another. But if I did, I'd be like, yes. And if you're asking for my recommendation, yes.
Yeah.
Get one.
Joe R. Finance asked, would a second layer of ceramic 3-in-1 be beneficial? So the infamous layering question. We get that about pretty much all of our protectants. And we did confirm in testing that an additional layer of ceramic 3-in-1 does add a noticeable amount of durability to the finish. So yes, a second layer of ceramic 3-in-1 is a great way to go. We do recommend, to realize that additional durability benefit, you're going to want to apply your first coat to a well-prepped surface, allow it to dwell for 12 to 24 hours, or sorry, not dwell, allow it to cure for 12 to 24 hours. So apply it, remove it, allow it to set up 12 to 24 hours without being exposed to moisture, and then apply your second coat. So ideally you can leave the car in the garage overnight, or you have a covered parking area to keep it out of the elements, or it's a nice sunny day that you're not going to get any moisture overnight, and then apply that second coat. And that's a great way to add a good amount more durability. Anything beyond a second coat, you're not really going to see any more benefit at that point.
Yeah, I think you probably are wasting product. Now, what I would recommend is that you've got 2 coats on it. It's going to be pretty durable, but those maintenance steps that we introduced will extend the life substantially. I mean, I think we've all laughed at how long that product has lasted. It's just like unbelievable sometimes. What? Yeah. Like we're gonna not get comeback customers. Yeah. Okay, so on that note, just another reminder, if you're still watching, we are running a special right now. You spend $30, you get that wonderful ceramic 3-in-1 wax product, which you should definitely do 2 layers of 12 to 24 hours apart. Use the key code SMLCJ. When you spend $30 at Griot's Garage, you're going to get a free bottle of ceramic 3-in-1 wax. Offer will end on the 20th of June. So it's our thank you to you. That's a great product. Again, hopefully you've learned enough about the wonderful uses of that product that you'll find a place for it in your arsenal. We have a lot of specific questions on the back page, so I want to quick hit them.
Yeah.
So I'm in the N's and S's right now, and I've got a lot. So I'm going to take 2 while you find a couple quick ones too.
Go for it.
All right. So Nelson Rodriguez, he's asking about ceramic 3-in-1 wax as a rinse aid. Is it a waste of product? You'll definitely consume more using it as a rinse aid, but it just depends on how long it's been since you've reapplied or topped up. I would say no, but I sell car wax. And at the same time, you can use different products like our pump up sprayer or to atomize it a little further. You don't need a ton as a rinse aid, but my preference to get more substantial protection, if you're gonna spray your whole car down with ceramic 3-in-1 or ceramic speed shine, is a drying aid. That's how you're gonna get the longer durability benefit of applying that product on top of a base coat. That being said, one of the benefits of the rinse aid, we talked about microfiber care earlier, is that you're just drying water off the car, right? You're not drying a combination of water and one of these ceramic infused products, which would necessitate that washing step while the towel is still wet in order to prevent performance degradation over time. So there is a benefit on top of just the liquid consumption that goes to other tools in your arsenal.
Yeah. Kevin Clancy asks, this is kind of related to the last one, how long after applying all-in-one should you wait before applying 3-in-1, and should you use surface prep first? So multi-part question, but again, you want to wait the 12 to 24 hour cure period between all-in-one and topping it with ceramic 3-in-1. It's another great layering process that will give you added durability, but just make sure after you're done wiping off your ceramic all-in-one, give it 12 to 24 hours, keep the surface dry, and then come back and apply your 3-in-1. And no, you do not want to use surface prep at that point. Surface prep should be used before you apply your base of ceramic all-in-one, not in between all-in-one and 3-in-1. Because if you use surface prep after you've applied your ceramic all-in-one, it's going to diminish that protection because surface prep is meant to strip things off of the surface. Surface prep cleanser.
Okay, we had a couple questions pertaining to, will ceramic speed shine as a drying aid prevent streaking? And this ties into another question asked by P. Rosk1. What about a blower to get those hard to reach water areas? I currently use a small Milwaukee blower. That's a great way to get excess water off your car when it's clean. before introducing a drying aid such as Ceramic 3-in-1 or Ceramic Speed Shine. I'm getting to the point. Because if you haven't done something like a blower and your car is still wet and it's showing signs of marginalized protection, you're going to have more water on the car, and then you're going to spray another liquid onto the car, which means your dry towel won't go as far. So if you're trying to stretch your drying towel and introduce a drying aid with a wetter towel, you're actually going to create more streaks. So a blower is a great suggestion, and so long as you don't blow all the water off your car, you can definitely minimize the water and have a better drying aid result because you will extend the absorbency of your towel.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
And then P. Ross really quickly asks, can you use Ceramic 3-in-1 on dry wheels? Yes, excellent. What I would recommend, do an iron and fallout remover, take the wheels off, do surface prep cleanser, or do a mechanical decontamination with a surface prep tool, then surface prep cleanser, dry to the dry wheel, Ceramic 3-in-1. If you can do 2 coats, great. But if you're just talking about a clean wheel face, yeah, sure. You can spray it on and definitely works on dry wheels. We showed you how to use it on wet wheels as a really quick kind of protection boosting step yesterday or on the live on Wednesday as well.
I like this one a lot. Ron Shoup asks, any guidance for wash and coat in the new cordless foamer now that it is out? So wash and coat's a great product to use in the cordless foamer. I would, you're not going to get a ton of foam from the wash and coat anyway, so I would probably actually use the spray tip so that you can atomize it nice and finely, get a little better coverage when you're applying that. And since this is a 64-to-1 dilution, that reservoir, off the top of my head, I think it's 56 ounces if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh, you
right
can't
around
do that
math. So you're going to be about 3/4 of an ounce to a full reservoir. I would say if you go full ounce, as long as you're not letting it sit on the surface for too long, you're not going to get yourself in trouble with that slight of a under dilution.
Yeah, it's a good way to spread it. And
Yep.
I might even recommend, again, foaming an area of the car with that, agitating, rinsing.
Yep.
Rinse,
Yep.
repeat, rinse, repeat
Yeah,
around the car.
Again, like we've mentioned, if you are doing it where you're agitating over it, either do a pre-wash or make sure that the surface is not very dirty at all.
I want to apologize for my sniffles. If you guys heard me talking at the end of the 2 hours yesterday, my throat was killing me. I've concluded it's allergies because I have no other symptoms outside of like runny nose and scratchy throat. So I apologize for
right
being
now.
unprofessional, but I am human sometimes. All right, a couple quick hits. Rooftop Korean. When is the ceramic rinseless wash coming for us apartment dwelling peasants? Well, good God, let's give him something because that, it made me laugh.
Yeah.
I don't know what a rooftop Korean is, but it's funny. And then the apartment dwelling peasants really got me as well. But
there's some apartments that cost more than my house, but.
well, ceramic rinseless, great ask. You may get lucky sometime soon.
Yeah.
We may have something cooking for you, Rooftop Korean, and I think you should email us at social@griosgarage.com. I'm not giving you the full ceramic family kit because one, I just gave you some insider knowledge, but two, you did make me laugh, so I'm gonna give you a shirt or something. So email social@griosgarage.com, and
Hook
good.
it up.
I got 2 other quick ones. Steve Martin's asking, what is the bird poop phobicity of these ceramic products?
I saw that one on Wednesday.
You get hit with a bird poop, that not even a high solids coating is preventing that from potentially etching. That is some nasty
Bird poop is super costly.
sheet, right? So yeah, I don't think there's anything outside of PPF that would protect your paint from a bird poop, and even so, that bird poop's probably going to etch your PPF. So if you see, a pterodactyl, dive bombed you, strafed you, get that clean as soon as possible.
Yeah, it will make it easier to clean off, and it's going to give you a little more time. But like Nick said, all out preventing bird poop from etching is virtually impossible, other than getting it off very quickly.
Some surface is getting damaged. If you have PPF, it's getting damaged instead of your paint, which is obviously a benefit, but
Yeah.
sorry, if somebody's telling you that, it's like, some of the commercials we see on the YouTubes
Yeah.
where guys are pouring buckets of bolts on their car after
Lighting
a
hoods on fire.
ceramic spray sealant, lighting it on fire,
Blowtorch.
sliding a fried egg on it. Come on, I can't believe that stuff's being paraded back around. I'm going to ask you this one again from Steve Martin, a really good question. Does ceramic tire dressing prevent tire blooming? And we had a couple other people saying, I put ceramic tire dressing on it and the brown still comes through. What's going on?
Yeah, so tire blooming, once it starts, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to stop it other than replacing those tires. From what we've seen with all the vehicles that we work on, certain manufacturers of tires will show it or will have that issue more than others. I know like
More typical on more modern compounds as well.
BFGs and stuff like that, you tend to see it a little more. But tire blooming, you know, a dressing will help hide it, but it's never going to get rid of it. So the only way to get rid of it temporarily would be using like a good wheel or tire cleaner. Our wheel tire mat cleaner or our foaming tire cleaner are great first hits. And then my favorite solution, clean it really thoroughly with wheel tire mat or foaming tire cleaner. And then once that tire is dry, I'd use our rubber prep and a good scrubbing pad and or like a multi-purpose utility towel. Scrub the heck out of the tire and then wipe all of the dirty cleaner off. And that will usually eliminate that tire browning that you see from blooming. But tire blooming is actually the anti-ozonants in the rubber seeping to the surface and oxidizing, creating that brown appearance. So
it's continually happening.
Yeah,
right?
it's going to come back most likely.
So it's not the dressing.
Again, depending on the tire, you might eliminate it for a few weeks, but it's likely to come back. More common on tires that sit outside a lot, trailer tires, vehicles that are stored outside, things like that.
I will say, something that will accelerate blooming in the tire dressing category is a lower grade aerosol-based dressing that is primarily solvent and less silicone. In developing our aerosol products, we looked at the competitive set and then started looking at silicone contents, and based upon looking at the competitive set, we could see, okay, this product actually is 10% silicone and primarily accelerants and solvents. So yeah, that's going to bring that tire bloom or make it worse for sure. But as Sam said, it's just going to be a recurring issue.
Yep.
There is a way to stave it off or to cut what's there off, like cut the top layer off. You're not cutting your tire, but just what has seeped out into the rubber. Both those foaming tire and wheel tire mat cleaner, they're gonna give you some really nice browning action, so you're releasing some of it. Then the rubber prep's gonna cut off the rest of the at least immediately visible residue. And that rubber prep makes a really nice surface for that ceramic tire dressing to adhere, which should keep the appearance uniform longer as well as maximizing durability. But if you just got a bloomy set of tires like the BF KO2s, it's gonna come back. We were doing it on the Michelin Pilot Sports on the Volkswagen Golf R the other day. It's like these tiny little rubber bands of tires, and it's a newer compound.
Yeah, clean tires, but they're brown. Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah, fact of life. Or just buy very old tires, which, nope, I did not recommend doing that. Our umbrella policy does not cover that advice, just like any financial advisor commercial. Gonna make millions. This is not guaranteed device. Losses are possible. Don't buy old tires. All right, how about one more each?
Yeah,
we gotta go.
All right. I'll do mine. So this is a common question, well, not all that common, but something that we hear. TZ asks, I have trouble with streaking on black cars with ceramic 3-in-1. Cool surface, minimum spray, and PFM towels. So you're doing 3 things right there. White and gray cars obviously don't show streaks. Any tricks? Best trick, surface prep cleanser. Surface prep cleanser will ensure that there's nothing else on the finish, an old wax, sealant, spray wax, something like that, that's interfering with ceramic 3-in-1 wax and causing it to be more streaky or filmy. The other thing can be contaminant. If the car has a lot of surface contaminants, you're going to want to get those off because that's going to make the product harder to apply, harder to wipe off. So decon and then surface prep cleanser would be my 2 best tips for getting a perfect application of ceramic 3-in-1 wax.
Okay, I think we had this 4 times, and we've answered it multiple times over the years. We answered it in the live. Are we working on a high solid ceramic coating? The answer is yes. We've actively been working on it. I mean, the terrible part for us. Obviously, manufacturing challenges aside, which we talked about. We have been attempting to co-develop. We've learned everything about the existing products on the market, that's for sure. We've spent a lot of money both in sampling and in lab testing to understand, what we were competing against for a multitude of factors. We've made a couple good runs, and ultimately it hasn't worked out for one or more reasons. Somebody, not wanting to sell the formula that we just co-developed together, so we gave them IP and they walked away from us. It's a strange part of the industry. There's a lot of smoke there.
Yeah.
As I said yesterday, there's a couple really reputable manufacturers, and then there's a lot of snake oil in between. For us, we do not want to get lumped into that. And in the interim, we've got a great product line to offer and plenty of niches to fill in our line. So it's just been dragged out, and once we get momentum, it's felt like the rug has been pulled out from us a couple times.
Yeah.
Frustrating, but the lights are still on here, right? I trust that, you guys believe that we wouldn't rush something out having defended this stance and project for so many years.
Yeah.
And we really want to be certain that we bring out something that's excellent, that, we can offer in, either multiple grades or iterations. So we're going to get there, but, we could definitely take the easy route, slap a label on it, and call it, unicorn tiers, and we'd probably get some sales, but that's not how I want to run this business. I don't want to fool anybody. I don't want to mislead them, and that's just been one category where it's like, man, I can't peg it unless I swallow all the principles my father taught me growing up. To just bring something out for the sake of bringing it out. So it'll come. He was in the seat for 33 years. I've been in the seat for 9 months. So we got some time, guys.
Yeah. Working on it.
Yeah. That's a lot of testing too.
Yeah.
Putting some work in. It's like, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
You can test a wheel cleaner in 10 minutes. You test a ceramic, it's 40 hours to really get to the bottom of what a product's capable of.
A lot of polishing in the process.
Yeah.
A lot of paint correction.
Well, we do have fun doing it, right?
Yeah, of course.
So hopefully you guys had fun with this. No questions left behind. If you like this, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our additional YouTube content. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook for fun stuff, sexy car pictures, and even more educational content. We do have an active sale right now. One more reminder, you spend $30 at griot'sgarage.com. You get a free 22-ounce bottle of ceramic 3-in-1 wax, whose benefits we have touted for probably 6 hours straight now. It's actually been like 3.5 of talking to y'all. Man, there was one other thing I wanted to say.
Father's Day giveaway?
What? Father's Day giveaway, yeah. So our Father's Day giveaway is live on Instagram and Facebook. All you have to do is like the post, tag 2 of your friends. We're going to pick the winners on June 20th, so the day after Father's Day. So don't go for broke. Get your dad something, or give him the day off. But if you win something,
it doesn't give you an out.
Yeah, it won't be known until Monday. But it's 4 Boss Foaming System complete kits, which are awesome products. Our last live was foaming, so if you want to check all that out, and then 1 enthusiast loaded ultimate detail card, so over $1,000 value. So 5 big prizes, and you can sign up for that via Instagram or Facebook. Man, there was one other thing, and I guess Happy Father's Day to everyone.
Yeah, Happy Father's Day.
That's eluding me, man. That bugs me. What a way to end the show with a brain fart. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. I'm sorry. That's what it was. I got it. Our next live, July 12th.
July 12th.
Wednesday, July 12th, 4 p.m. It will be pre-recorded. We will have live moderators, but we are going to be beating the heat and showing you how to wash outdoors when you can't control the conditions. All of our tips and tricks. Sam tried to spoil it. We're going to bring it. July 12th, 4 p.m. on our YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss that one. Finally.
You got it.
Brain fart conquered.
Came back.
Have fun in your garage, everyone.
Have fun in your garage.